This episode, we visit the back end where we build the Solo 14 and the Tango 17, the world's first thermoformed rowboats. This is the story of Whitehall Rowing Sail. I'm Harold Aune. Marie Hutchison and I started building Whitehall Spirit rowboats over 30 years ago. These classics are handmade in teak, bronze, and fiberglass and built to last 100 years. We also build rowing boats in maintenance-free space-age thermoplastic, and the oar-board rower that converts a paddleboard into a high-performance rowboat that stores in the apartment and travels as luggage. Join us in the shop, the office, on the road, and on the water as we revolutionize the sport of rowing. Woo-hoo! If you like our content, please like and subscribe. Your comments are welcome. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how we build the Tango 17 and the Solo 14, the world's first co-polymer thermoform rowboats. And we're going to do it with Brech, who's been doing this for many, many years.
Let's do it.
Our goal here at Whitehall Rowing Sail has always been to introduce people to the sport of rowing, not in tippy, narrow rowing shells used in competition rowing by clubs and colleges, but people like ourselves, out in safe, stable, seaworthy boats, enjoying the sport of rowing in a beneficial, holistic way. We use the same technology in terms of sliding seats, sculling oars, and technique as in racing shells, but utilized in proven, stable, safe, seaworthy rowboats. Whitehall Spirit rowboats can handle wind, waves, and powerboat wakes. Rowing with modern sculling gear is one of the healthiest, low-impact, full-body workouts known. As we've said for years, double the calorie burn of jogging with no stress on the knees or joints. We still build the classic Whitehall Spirit models in hand-laid fiberglass, teak, bronze, and copper that we started building over 30 years ago, but now 75% of what we build is either the Whitehall Spirit Solo 14 or the Whitehall Spirit Tango 17, the world's first co-polymer slide seat sculling rowboats. These models are lighter with almost zero maintenance and at an entry-level price for an ocean-worthy slide seat sculling rowboat. The copolymer material used to build these boats has a special acrylic coating that makes it UV-proof for up to 20 years of tropical sunlight. I strongly recommend keeping any boat covered so it's protected from all the elements and wildlife such as seagulls and pelicans. Our test boats are the ones used in our local Whitehall Spirit Rowing Club here in Victoria, which were some of the first ones built back in 2007 and are still going strong. The boats start out as sheets of thermoplastic that are heated in a computer-controlled oven until ready, and then vacuum molded into the required shape. The hulls and decks are trimmed by a CNC machine and transported to our factory for final assembly. The hull receives internal reinforcement in the bow, keel, and transom area. The deck likewise gets reinforced and stiffened. The deck gets non-skid added to make it more slip-proof. This process is very effective, and once the non-skid hardens, it is totally bonded to the deck and lasts indefinitely. All of the fittings, cleats, slide seat tracks, footstop tracks, batten ends, strap tie-downs are bolted in place on the deck and sealed on the inside so they're completely waterproof. If a stainless steel keel strip is fitted, done by through bolting it to the bow. It also gets internally sealed so that it can never leak even if impacted. Finally, when the hull and deck are all ready, the interdeck is glued in place to the deck. The methacrylate glue that's used bonds the plastic so well that it's stronger than the hull material itself. Here Nick positions the interdeck so that it's permanently glued in place to the deck. Next, the deck and the interdeck is glued to the hull, essentially welding the hull and the deck permanently together, making this a super strong, stiff honeycomb type of structure. Weights and clamps keep everything locked in position while the glue sets and hardens. The interior space between the hull and the deck has now been formed into a watertight, fully buoyant compartment, making the boat virtually unsinkable. This means that in the unlikely event that the hull was ever breached, the interior deck would act as a watertight bulkhead, keeping the boat buoyant enough to be easily rowed home. Finally, the clamps and weights are removed once the glue has cured. Finally, the balance of the gear is installed, including the hinging outriggers, the traditional oarlocks, the removable fixed seats, the adjustable footstop, and the slide seat itself fitted on its tracks. Some final handwork is to add the copper liners to the bow eye and transom eyes. A final seal on the gunnel, and these boats are pretty much ready to row. A final job before packing for transport is to add a custom name if the owner orders one. Next, the optional gear, such as boat covers, battens, sculling oars, etc., are bound and locked in place so there's no movement at all during shipping. That prevents chafing or rubbing. Finally, the boat is shrink wrapped for transport via our professional company driver, truck, and trailer. Our driver travels over 100,000 miles per year, delivering boats directly to owners all across mainland US and Canada. For offshore deliveries, the boats are shipped in a custom-built, agriculturally certified crate. Over the years, we've shipped boats via ocean cargo to owners in over 50 countries. Our goal has always been to introduce as many people as possible to the sport of rowing. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And to see the boats we build, visit whitehallrow.com or oarboard.com. Join us next episode where we head off to Boston to display the oarboard at the head of the Charles rowing event. This is the largest rowing regatta on the planet with over 50,000 people and 20,000 rowers. See it here next time on A World of Adventure Awaits You.